It's a miracle, doc, they counted me out. Moment of truth, counting it down. Underdog story was down for the count. Back on my feet, back with a mic, back on the beat, back with a family that bang in the streets. The game on lock, I stand with a key. Standing my ground, I am planning to flee. Standing my ground, I am planting my feet. Taking a stand, embracing my destiny, shaking his hand, flipping the script.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sunday night CrossFit Talk. It is Scott, it's Jamie, it's Carolyne. We're all here tonight. There is a whole bunch going on in the CrossFit space. Plus, we have a fun game tonight. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when stuff comes in. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes or any of that, make sure you give us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. That would be so kind. Now, catching up. How is everybody this week? It's the week before Thanksgiving. That usually means things are a little bit rushed. But you don't celebrate Thanksgiving like we do, Carolyne, because you're in Canada.
Ours is just in October.
Okay. So yours is over.
Yeah, ours is over. And ours is also on a Monday. Yours is a Thursday. And yours is basically a week long. Everyone gets off work a lot of times. Like
I only get Thursday off, and it stinks. So I have to go back to work on Friday.
Okay.
Which is
yeah. You have to go back to work on Friday?
Yeah, which like there'll be me and 5 other people.
Yeah, that's terrible.
The volume will be very low.
Yeah, I feel like we mostly here in the US, most people have Friday off because it's Black Friday shopping. Like that, I mean, unless you're in retail, you're off and then you're shopping.
The state government, we've got to work for the taxpayers. We can't get a free day off.
Fair enough. Yeah. Lucas has Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off school, so just has to go to school Monday, Tuesday.
When I was a kid, we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday.
Whoa.
Because Monday used to be the first day of buck season.
Yeah.
And in Pennsylvania, if they tried to hold school, there'd be like 3 people there.
Yes.
So, but they've changed all that around since I've left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know anything about that anymore. But I did see some fun new stuff. Caitlin Clark is part of the ownership group that's trying to bring soccer to Cincinnati for the women.
Did see that, yeah.
So she is really getting ingrained into this like tri-state area of like Indianapolis, Columbus, Cincinnati, that little triangle.
It's nice to see that like she's in a position already in her career to be able to dive into some like investment stuff for other female sports. So that's cool.
Yeah. So that's cool. It's super exciting. I know Andrew Sten is like a major Cincinnati FC fan. So I'm curious to know what he thinks of all that. Oh, there's Mama Schweitzer. They still get Monday off.
Nice.
So there we are. I was watching football today, of course. I was talking to Lex briefly, and she said her 49ers and just sent me poop emojis. So she's not having a good day. And they have nobody left on their roster. They're hurt, so hurt.
It's not even the same team as last year at this point. Like it's not comparable.
The Lions kept rolling and rolling.
They didn't look great though, if I'm being completely honest. Like
I had that game on my second TV. I thought the Colts looked good, but they just couldn't get it in the end zone.
And when they would get down to the red zone, they couldn't score. Like they would take it down the field great, and we just got lucky. I feel like it was
and the Bears don't know what luck is.
Man, I was rooting for you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, John Young. I forgot he's a Vikings fan. And just like the past few weeks, the Bears do just enough to get me back in the game, the sliver of hope, just to snatch it away at the end. Oh,
I mean, the first team to actually do this successful onside kick.
Yeah, the first team to get an onside kick this year. Hope. There's my hope. Then they score the field goal to tie the game, and then they come out and just
Yeah.
Lex's poop emoji, their first series, total poop emoji, and then have to punt to the Vikings and couldn't stop them. Oh, I'm so mad.
Yeah.
But such is life. I think this is just going to be the story of my Sundays the rest of the year.
Well, let's hope. I mean, for my sake, next week.
Yeah, well, that's a Thursday.
I know.
Maybe we play
Who
better
do the Lions play next Thursday?
Bears.
The Bears.
on our Thanksgiving holiday.
Thanksgiving.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch any football today except for when I redid my level 2 this weekend, and when I got home, I saw the score of the Niners game when I think they were in the fourth quarter. And I was like, nope, switch that, and then the reps ahead was starting, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah. So where do we want to start tonight? Because there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot. I guess you want to start with the CrossFit season.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody has seen it. I will tell you that I have not been able to watch other shows. I watched a little bit of Spin yesterday. But honestly, I fell asleep. I was watching it, getting ready for bed, and I just was exhausted.
Yeah.
And so I read through it very vigorously, and I think I got it. So what we have learned is the new season will have a 3-week open, just like it always has. And I'm gonna pull this up from my notes.
Pretty much the same time as normal.
Yeah.
Not much change there.
So I'm gonna blow this up. This kind of talks about all the different divisions. If you haven't seen this already, this is on the press release that came out from CrossFit.
Can you turn that down a little one?
The open is from February 27th to March 17th. Then from there, no more quarterfinals. You're going straight to an in-affiliate semifinal. And they use the word affiliate, not online. So I'm assuming this is an effort to push everything back to the affiliates.
Right.
Yeah.
This was announced first at an affiliate gathering. And the feedback I've seen from affiliate owners has been very positive that they're doing this.
Okay.
So the in-affiliate semifinal is April 24th through April 27th. That is 4 days.
For individuals.
I'm sorry, May.
That's for teams.
It's May 1st through May 4th. 4 days for individuals. And that's a little bit shorter than it's been at least last year. Remember last year was like forever, like 6 days or.
Yeah. Was it Wednesday through Monday?
Yeah, it was a lot last year. Everybody was saying it was way too much. Yeah,
it was like a day or for 4 workouts or whatever, and you had like 6 days. It felt like a long time.
So this year it's May 1st to May 4th. And then for individuals, you also have the option to do an in-person qualifying event. People are calling them sanctionals. And that can run anywhere from April through June.
Which is weird.
That I'm just curious, like what the qualifying process looks like for those. Are they using the certain amount of semifinal athletes, like wherever their placement is? And let's say, is there a maximum that people can compete in? Like, is it 3? And then how do they figure out who they're inviting? Do they just go down the list from 1 all the way?
So if you read the full document, there is no maximum that you can compete in. You could, if it's physically possible, you could compete in every single one.
But you're saying that like you're just because you're in the is it top 30 get to compete in any top 1,000? Because how many do you know what I mean? Like making it in the 1%. In previous years, that's I don't know, for the females might be 1,000 people making it to the next round. Let's call it maximum 1,500. I don't think we'll have as many signups, but is it the top 100 get these ones? And then it's just, how that qualifying process will work is just interesting to me.
So reading the document, it is the top 1% move to semis, and they compete. From there, they are taking the top anywhere from 15 to 20 to the games.
And
Then
that I don't like that they don't even know a number. Like,
I know.
ooh, we're gonna be doing
it's
maybe we're
because
doing 15, maybe we're doing 20. Who knows? You know, because I lost my spot the one year at the games. I thought I was in 2020, and then I lost it. Like, just if you have those rules, like just
well, I
15.
don't think they know what the in-person events are.
Right.
Yeah.
I
And
think
the
that's
in-person
exactly the problem.
events qualify either 1 or 2 people, depending on the strength
many-
of field.
Yeah. And how many even agree to, I mean, because it sounds like you have to have done the open to, like, you can't just go sign up for, let's pretend Wadapalooza is one, which it isn't, obviously, because it's not in April to whatever, but pretend Wadapalooza is one. And this is where I feel like a lot of these competitions won't want to participate if you have to use the open as your qualifier. Some of these comps use a big qualifier to make their money. So if they're getting rid of their opportunity to do a qualifier because it's off of the open placement, now maybe they can still do a qualifier for their, maybe it's a big enough, decent size enough comp that there's an RX category and teams, and so they'll have like an online qualifier, make a little bit of money, but their elites are chosen out of the open. I guess I can see where it would work a little bit, but I mean, yeah, Carolyn's right. Is it do you have to be in the top 1% to even apply? Because you have
It's
to
just confusing, right? Like, it's just I get there's a lack of information, but because these, let's call them sanctional events, like, they need to make their money somehow. It's just like, how many invites are they going to give? And then maybe the rest is through an online portion. Like, if you're a semifinal athlete looking to do a particular one, but there's people ahead of you that are already in those, let's say, 5 spots or invite or 10 spots, and you still want to do that, you got to do an extra qualifier before. Like, there's just so many. It's just messy. It's very messy.
But I think that this is par for the course. This is where we've been for years. Every year, there's something new to make it messy. And while I like sanctionals because it gave us something to talk about every week almost, I hated the messiness of who got to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because this person already qualified, we moved to number 2. Wait, they're already qualified. We're moving to number 3. It gets really messy. And when COVID hit and everybody, they pulled things back and people lost spots they were given, and that was crap too. Right.
But it's like, I think I remember during that period of time, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, you would do the open, but if, let's say I wanted to do the Brazil CrossFit Championship at that point, I think, like, during the open, I also paid a certain amount to the Brazil CrossFit Championship, and I would have to post my score on the open and on their website to be like, I'm looking to use this as a qualifier. So you're almost like paying twice. But then your name is already on that, and it's like, you chose that one. You can't just, like, further down the road be like, oh, can I get an invite there? It's like, oh, well, you didn't pay for it at that point. I wonder if, like, anything like that will take place, if that makes sense.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think until those are identified, we're flying blind.
Yeah.
So let's just get through some of the nuts and bolts real quick, and then we'll talk about the overarching concerns. And that is, now when you do your in affiliate semifinal, you must have an L1 judge, and the judge must take the advanced judges course in addition to the judges course that already existed. But that judges course now lasts for 3 years.
Yeah.
I do like that. I think that's good.
I do. I like that too. The sanctionals will send a minimum of 10, maximum of 15 spots to the games. Again, we talked about that briefly. Several sanctional events and no limit to the amount of entries. Will qualify 1 or 2 men and women to the games, depending on the size of that sanctional.
Like that's nothing. Like when you start thinking about it, like 1 to 2, if we all like if a bunch of people just want to go to the same one, like that's crazy.
They're only giving 30 spots to the games this year instead of 40.
Does it still say a minimum of 30? Or does it say 30?
It says 30. Only 30 spots will be given to the games. Where the qualifier is depending on the semifinal, the sanctionals, it could be 15, it could be 10.
Yeah.
So the open could be 15 or 20.
Or maybe 25. Who knows? If they don't have enough sanctionals, maybe they go 25.
True. Lex says the judges course probably costs more to last for 3 years. And John Young said it's only 30. Okay.
Yeah, I don't love that.
The decrease in spots?
Yeah.
So
the only good thing of this newer part is, I mean, it's good and bad. Like I think I don't know. Because like you're gonna get, there's no more regional representation. I still think it's important to do competitions in each region to allow local development, like, or global development, I should say. But you may end up, you're gonna get, in my opinion, better athletes ideally to the games. But you still don't want to lose that global push to increase the level. That's why I think you can still do those competitions in Africa, for instance, where they have a chance to qualify, but then someone from North America, Europe, Australia could still make the trip there and then grab that spot.
I just think people are like, you're constantly looking at like the history of the top 40 and you're like, there's always 10 people who don't matter. Well, that's because of the way you qualified people in. And so it didn't matter. If you would do this and still allow 40 and the top 40 got there, it would actually be a really exciting all 4 heats of 10. I mean, I hate that you're just dropping it off because the bottom 10 don't matter. We haven't given it a shot where the actual top 40 made it to see and then decide like, yeah, we really don't need 40 there.
Yeah, I think that taking away the region, and even more than just, Africa getting a representative and Asia getting 2 representatives, whatever. What it also does is the stacked regions like North America East will get the right number of people in because they qualified to get in
through an online competition. Most of them.
Or
Europe dominates like they did last year, and depending on the workouts and like how many workouts will be on the online portion and what is the equipment that's going to be released that these athletes are going to need. Is the Echo Bike going to make an appearance? Are certain equipment that you traditionally see in quarterfinals and other, the open, like if you're only inviting the top 1%, I'm assuming they would assume that they have access to more equipment than you can normally do online. But then you also have to think about representation, and not everyone has an Echo Bike in South America or something. But it'll just be interesting.
Yeah. So moving on, 30 or 20 teams will get in instead of, I think it was 30 some last year. 20 teams, only 1 team per affiliate, which is a big change. That means Invictus only gets 1, Oslo only gets 1. And I was reminded that there was really only 1 from Cookville Mayhem last year.
Is the barn different than?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the other ones were actually in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
I think
they just use the name.
Right.
Well, yeah, the Latin America team or whatever. I guess they're still South America. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I don't think that matters. Like, yeah, 1 from per affiliate is totally fine. You're going to pick your top 4 best people to represent your affiliate, and that's all you really need there anyway.
Age group and adaptive will still be hosted by Legends, Pit, and Wheelwad. Age groups top 2% move on to the semi instead of 1, or a minimum of 200.
Which is a factor in the 60 plus and 65 plus.
Right.
Almost
No
every
number
year.
given for game spots.
I know.
Are we assuming it's the same as last year because it's run by the same people?
I don't know.
I kind of hope they shrink it a little.
I kind of hope they shrink it. I kind of hope that they're in talks, like Pitt and Legends are. I highly doubt this is happening, but I hope they're in talks to find a venue together and combine it and have like your normal 20 or whatever, figure out the heat size that makes sense. Yeah, they need to fix that because even separate weekends isn't great for traveling and getting these people to different events. Like they need to be in one unit. And
What's so difficult about watching the age group is that there are so many age group, and to go through 40 athletes of the same damn workout is so long. It's long on us, the viewers. It's long on the commentators. Like there's just so many divisions doing the exact same thing. It's a lot.
Yeah. I will say that is the one good thing about separating masters and teens is it sort of breaks that down a little bit. But I just think for the sport to grow, like families need to be going to those competitions together and adults seeing the kids and the kids seeing the adults. And
yeah, my thing, I actually hated at first the 3 floors at Legends, but it actually turned out to be a good thing because people could bounce from one event to another throughout the day and not have to watch the same event all day. So that actually made that kind of cool. But I digress. Season goes open in affiliate. We already talked about that. Additionally, there'll be a pairs competition that will happen after the season, but it's based on open performance.
Basically your level. So
Right.
like your pair is competing against another pair of like similar level. And I mean that idea is just to generate more money for them, really. It's just that's their quarterfinal because it's it's basically right after the open.
no,
Isn't
it's
it?
No,
the
this
pairs
is
is at MFC. It's October, like
That's the finals, right?
yeah,
The
you just
community cup. So, but is there? But it's additional money.
no, you
Or
would just
sorry.
sign up for
Okay, so
I think you're thinking the community cup.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
community
thinking.
cup is
That's
after.
different than pairs.
Oh,
Yeah, the pairs is
sorry.
you can take what we don't even know if it's same sex co-ed.
I'm actually guessing they're going to have all of the above.
You can pair up with someone based on your open performance, and then wherever you fit, you will be moved. You have the opportunity to go compete for like a championship at Masters Fitness Collective
Championship.
They changed their name in October. So that can be done there as well. And it kind of alludes to like things that were talked about before the games this year where Dave was thinking about moving a teams type thing after the games. And I think this is it with pairs instead of like a 4-person team or 6-person team like we knew it.
Right.
And then the Community Cup is new in 2025. All athletes who compete in the Open and submit scores for all workouts will be able to continue their season in their affiliate with a new competition called the Community Cup. It will be a unique format for local athletes to compete against their peers based on their level earned during the Open.
I feel like this is just basically taking the quarterfinals and moving it to this part of the season.
Except for it's not the top 25%, it's everybody.
Yeah, but how many people are going to? I mean, I guess it gives everyone a shot, but then you feel like
king of level 1, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's for money.
Yeah, I mean, so was quarterfinals. So
yeah,
and there's a lot. I've seen a lot of commentary, like people posting that they're sad about this change, that they were basically like 11 percentile last year or 26 or whatever, but like they were excited to do better this year and make it into quarterfinals, and they feel a little bummed that got taken away from them. So hopefully those people sign up and take part in this community cup. Like,
I think that's why like it's there, right? Because it's like there's some people, even beginners, right, that do the open, get hooked, and they're looking for something else. And all of a sudden now they do this competition with people at their own level, and they get to continue a little bit. And it's something for them to do.
mm-hmm.
Larry Young says, well, this is a first for me, but I'm not mad at it. More people would be nice, but it did fix a lot of problems like weak regions, big gyms dominating teams. I just wonder about the open programming. I think a lot of people do. If you're going straight from the open to semifinals, like it's got to be different programming.
From the open to what? To the semifinals?
The semis.
I mean, 1% to me is still quite a bit. If I don't know, like
no matter
1,000 something, like you're not missing any of the games athletes that are worthy there. Like unless someone was injured, very sick, and just did the bare minimum at a workout, the top athletes should be in the top 100 or 1% to make it on with 3 workouts, with 4 workouts. I believe that.
I agree. I think if you would have looked at the top 1% from last year's open, you would have been fine with who moved on.
Dryer Dagger says, I am probably going to win the CrossFit Games now. I'm happy for you, man. I'm going for level 1 champ. Denise Moore is, I'm super happy that quarters are going away for the Masters. We just had way too many online qualifiers last year.
Yeah.
I know following it was a lot.
Yep.
So I can't even imagine doing it that many times.
Well, for the teams as well as one point, it was like 50% of the teams moved on or something. Like it was like there's barely any cuts at some point. And I was like, okay, just cut that part.
And yet Jamie's team got cut because
I know. We were literally like,
sorry,
wow.
Jamie.
I mean, in the West region, it was like all you had to be was like the top 80th percentile and you moved on. It was a little bit tougher in the East region, but yeah,
I take my comment back. I feel bad now.
It's fine.
Not everyone made it through.
The East region is a tough region. If it's going to be a region you're not going to make it, it's ours.
Larry actually says some people made it to quarters, couldn't do all the movements. That has happened at semis. We've had live in-person semis where people have made it and couldn't do all the moves.
But that's making sure that there's a continuum in the programming, and that whatever you're programming in the open is actually weeding out the people that won't be able to do the next part of the qualifiers, right? Like if there's no connection between the open and the next phase, and it's just like brand new workouts, like you're going to get people that they get stuck.
One thing that we didn't really go into a whole lot is part of the solution to that is the new requirements for a judge, and you have to post your videos online, and they get judged by all the qualifying people that have the level 1 and the judges course, and they can go online and review the videos.
Finally. How long have I been saying this?
Is this only for the top 1%, or does this work with every qualifying division? Because I don't think every single person that does the open necessarily need to do their videos, but it's like if you're looking to move on to that next phase, then
I think even for the open, Scott, like you can't be in the top 1% if you didn't submit 3 videos. Like, I mean, I sure hope that
read that, because I think that it's for the in-person affiliate semifinals is where the judge requirement gets dropped. But I'll need to reread it. I read it on Friday and it's been 2 days. So I'll go back and check.
You got to get people in that mindset out the gate. Like, if you're doing the open and you're planning on making it straight to
I understand what you're saying, but we can't have 125,000 videos, not
sure
even
can.
even more than that, like 3 times that, polluting the, and then you're reviewing me who has no shot at making it.
But who's going to review you? No, like that's the thing.
There's
People
no,
are
how are you going to separate it?
Everyone that is around you in the leaderboard probably reviews you. That's what I would think. Like if you're in the 2000, I feel like the people right around you are looking at your video. If you're in the
if you're
100,000,
you don't have an L1 and don't have the ability to do it.
So you wouldn't submit a video, and that's fine. I'm saying if you are planning on being in the top 1% and you want to move on to the in-person, you better have submitted a video. If you didn't, and you finished 50th in the open, sorry, where's your videos?
No, you actually get to win the workout worldwide.
Yeah, right.
And we get to give you $2,024.
That's how we prevent
that. Don't worry about it.
Again. No, that's how we prevent
you did that workout? Oh, okay, we believe you. Here's the worldwide win.
I think they've removed that this year. Hopefully.
So everyone posts their video, like everyone can see it, but only people with level 1 and the advanced course could judge on it. Is that what we're getting at? So like I could see other videos.
Yeah.
I obviously have that certification, so I could technically judge.
So this used to be the case back in like 15 or 16, 17, somewhere in there.
It's been the case.
And then if you took the judges course, you actually had the ability to actually put review a score.
Yep.
Right. Not everybody has that ability. You have to like take the judges course.
Correct.
To go through a certain portal to be able to do that.
Do you think that when you judge a video, your name should come on it? Or you should be able to judge anonymously?
I think your name should go on there.
I think so too.
I don't have a problem either way.
Because people can go on and they're like, they're your competition. They have their level 1, they have their judges course, and they're getting all like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that you should be able, if you're going to judge, you also put your name behind it. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm calling you out for this.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either.
I think it would prevent some people from doing that though, because they're like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking.
I think the other, I don't know. Maybe we're getting too much in the weeds, but Vi actually says, I think people would be petty and vindictive if it was anonymous. But I don't think one vote should matter.
I don't think it will. It's going
to be it's going to be like this person got 1 no vote and 13 yeses, then they're probably going to pass the video.
Right.
If it has 13 no's and 1 yes, then my guess is it used to be this way. Then they took a closer look.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you could be vindictive, but I don't think it's going to carry much weight unless there's a bunch of other votes in your direction. So,
and honestly, and even if like, so say like 200 athletes go on and 100 people hate Taylor Self and they downvote his video and it's 50-50, it's going to trigger somebody at HQ to look at that video because it's a questionable video. It's got a lot of votes on it. And I would think they're objectionable there and can see,
of course.
This was good movement. And I mean, it's fine. If enough people vote on a video, it should trigger it to get regardless. Like,
but like the opposite too, like you can get your friends to vote good.
Right.
But like that's why I think there should be a name behind it. So it's not just like, oh, who voted yes, your affiliate, your girlfriend, your best friend, you start looking.
Yeah. I think I'm just happy about the baby step that we're back to.
Yeah, I think that's a great step forward. And I think those requirements are good.
I'm so excited to be able to review people's videos.
I'm curious what that advanced judges course will look like. And if they're actually showing gray reps and not just, because I find the judges course normally like pretty simple, and it's like so obvious what they're looking for in the no rep. But it's like it's those movers that are super fast. Those are the ones that people need to get a good eye, and there's a lot of judges out there that don't have that eye. So it's like that's the type of movement that need to be in that advanced judges course.
I sometimes give people too much credit, but CrossFit has reminded me that the internet did vote enough to name a boat McBoatface.
Bodie McBoatface.
Yeah, and that was done by the internet. So
Can I say one more thing about the judges stuff?
Sure.
Because some people like also don't go in an affiliate to do the workout, right? And sometimes they'll say that they had a judge, and all of a sudden when you're looking at the video and there's no judge, they're actually not in their affiliate. Like that, when you have to post your video live, like you're gonna be able to see whether they even had a judge and all that.
Well, I think there's going to be a requirement to be in the affiliate. The way
That's what I'm
everything's
thinking.
named.
How are
But there's a lot of lying.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are like, oh, right, this person that judged me that has
Yeah.
their course. Like there's a lot of people, but now that you are posting online, people are going to be like, that judge is not a level 1. You're not allowed to put that. That's not that person that you put on your judge's course or your judge's card. You're going to get that. People not grabbing actually an L1 that has an advanced course. It's going to be problematic. But now that your video is public, it's some people may know and we'll call people out.
How are you going to know where it was performed unless you know a gym really well?
People that don't like you or something we'll find that out.
But if your judge is not registered, they don't come up when you start typing them.
Right.
Yes, but that's the thing is you see it all the time. People weren't even judged and or they weren't even at the affiliate and they don't want to post their video live for people to judge it. So they're going to pretend that they go to an affiliate. They get the affiliate owner to say, yep. And then they put this judge, yep. And sometimes the affiliate people don't even verify. And they're like, oh, that's a good score. That's a good score. Sure. This member was here. It happens all the time.
Oh, you can put all the fail safes in and people are still going to be deceptive. You're never going to pull all of that out because it's a competition and people want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about other cheaters later in the show that have popped up this week. So
popped up.
Exactly popped up. So Julia Eifert says a lot of athletes are not going to compete this year. So what's the point? It's going to be a lot of no names there in Texas. One, we don't know if it's in Texas.
I don't think
they have not announced a place for the games. And there are a lot of rumors saying it's not going to be Texas.
Texas doesn't want to host the games, or especially maybe not Texas, but Fort Worth does not want that CrossFit to come back. There's no way. They said yes with the anticipation that it was going to be good for their city. They're not wanting any association with CrossFit.
Two, we don't know who's competing and not yet. Only one person I've seen definitively state they are not. And I've been combing Instagram the last few days just to see if anybody is making that statement. And three, it's going to be interesting to see what these off-season competitions do that want to vie to be a sanctional. And if it has to be tied to the open, it takes away a lot of opportunities for people who don't want to compete in the season. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of dominoes to fall. And I think we just have to wait and see what those are before people make final decisions. So,
this is the second time Emma and Jack have been brought up. So, Yana.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to hide that one.
I
didn't know about this. So, Julian also says, do you guys think since Mammoth training is going away, does that mean Emma and Jack are done with CrossFit?
I don't think so.
If you watched the show last week, we pulled up Emma's TikTok. She is back to CrossFit training. And she is documenting that through her TikTok and not on like Instagram or other things right now. But you can go to TikTok and see her account, and she is almost daily documenting her journey back into CrossFit.
Mm-hmm. And Josh, who was the Mammoth coach, wasn't doing it full time. Like he had another job, and like we don't know what the reason was why he is not like no longer going all in on this. So like he could have family stuff that he wants to, attend with. He could have other plans of growing something else. Like I don't think it has anything to do with Emma and Jack and their future in CrossFit. I think it's they're gonna find someone else or whatever option that they'll do.
Yep.
Vi says, do you think they'll join a camp?
I don't know.
I have no idea these days.
Like I could see Emma Lawson going to Proven with like her relationship a little bit with Tia, that when Tia was kind of guiding her a little bit for a couple years. I could see that, but
I could see her staying out of camp and just.
I think that would be best for her.
I
is
agree.
to stay away from any camps and comparison and just kind of just train and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's had offers from multiple camps.
I'm sure.
And has turned them down. So, and Mammoth never said they were a camp.
Yep.
It was just a guy training Jack and Emma, and they brought one more person on who fit the dynamic of who was there.
Yeah, and she just ended up following the program and was very, very good, right? And then ended up living in a very similar location. So just Folo, that is, Erica Folo.
Mm-hmm.
So just made it easy to bring on board.
So there's a lot. So Lynn says, yeah, I hope competitions will change how they qualify people, because if they're using the open, they're limiting their audience of people who want to compete. Right?
I disagree. I mean, I think that's how it needs to be.
I think we need to see the effect.
I don't think one competition at one time in the year needs to dictate all the rest of the competitions. I disagree with that. Like if someone's injured at that time of the year, if you're like, you need other opportunities to compete. And like the open cannot be the qualifier for every single thing down the road. It can't. We cannot have one weekend for the rest of the season for every single thing. Like if you that was the good part about the sanctionals. You actually didn't even need to do the open. Like I think Emily Rolfe had qualified through the Granite Games and hadn't even done the open in that year, if I remember.
I mean, you think if you're I don't think that the 1% is going to hold somebody out. And so like you have a big pool of people able to continue on.
I still don't think one competition needs to.
It is the epitome of what we do. To let people not sign up for the CrossFit Open negates everything that we are here to do.
We did it before. And I think if like the other circuits that for people that are not looking to do the open and do any part of the CrossFit Games season, that I think is what Lynn is talking about. Like,
sure, Wadapalooza
then you don't want to use the open. Like you have the Wadapalooza qualifier, you have a road qualifier,
Yeah.
you have other ways to qualify to that event.
Wadapalooza will still be there, and Rogue is obviously going to be probably its own thing, the way it always is. Then I do, but like you have these ones that are in the other part of the season that aren't going to be open dependent, and so fine, there you go. If those are the ones you want to do, then do them.
I'm kind of in between both of you. So I see the point of you have to decide if you want this sport to be an Olympic style sport where you have to go through this on certain dates. And if you don't make those dates, you're just done. Or do you want to be an every year season where people have opportunity like this? We talked about the 49ers at the beginning of the show. Brock Purdy's hurt, can't play, but if they can still qualify for the playoffs, he can come back in and help them get to the Super Bowl. So you have to decide if Gabby McGowan can miraculously come back from her surgery and it just happens to be in April.
Or Roman, for instance.
Or Roman. And should you be allowed to jump in April and have a shot to make the games because you were still rehabbing your Achilles in February?
And my opinion is yes. If you beat out those people in April, why can't you earn the right to go to a bigger event after that? Whether it's the games or whatever is the next event.
Because it's
Like there
sports.
can be one path that is that way, and then there's another path where you don't need to. Like I understand that people will be like, well, then people won't do the open because why would they do the open?
Right.
I get that. But I'm saying
think-
if you want to grow, like if you're doing, and that's the thing with the methodology in the sport, right?
Sure. Well, then we need to figure that out and separate them if that's where we're going. But
Mhm.
that's not the current case. And if we want the open to matter, then it needs to matter.
And now it does.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's just dissenting opinions on whether the open should matter or not.
It's not going to preclude you from doing everything. There's going to be plenty of events that you can still sign up for if you didn't do the open or like are holding out on the open.
To me, the open is romanticized in my head because it was one of my favorite moments when I finally had the courage to do it in 2013, right? And so, do I want it to go away? No, I don't want it to go away, and I don't want it to lose its value. But I am telling you, there is a lot of people in this community that are at a point where it does not matter to them. And that's all I'm saying. For me, I think it should matter, and I do want it to matter. I don't know if we're at a place where. So overarching with all this stuff we talked about, like CrossFit comes out with all this stuff, but we still haven't heard from anybody, and we haven't even got into the post third-party investigation changes that have happened. And we still the only public statement that's been made is at an affiliate gathering,
Right.
which is a small percentage of the overall community. There are a lot of people that go into a gym every day or follow the sport who know nothing as to what's going on, and no statement has been made by anybody other than, hey, we're making these changes. Here's a press release. You can't ask questions. You can't get in more in-depth information about any of this stuff. It's just here. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised that this is I keep going back and forth in my head whether this is strategic or it's like being hushed by lawyers or what, but it just seems like, why couldn't you come out and say either this is a summary of what the findings were and this is why we're doing this, or hey, our attorneys have said we can't really make statements about the third-party investigation at this time, but these are changes we're making for the future.
Right. So I feel like it probably isn't a legal. It is a legal thing, and I wish that that's how they would have presented that.
But just throwing this out there with no statement really falls freaking flat.
Yeah, and I think like when they're talking about like we're going to increase this safety, but like we don't even know what was in place to begin. Like we don't know what has changed. Like what did they even have before? Like is it a small increase, big? Like we don't even know how much money that they have in safety before. What are they spending now on safety? Like there's no comparison. It's just kind of,
you're not going to get any of that information though.
We're not getting any information on what was in place prior and what are the specific changes from where it was at.
If they do that, they are admitting that they didn't have enough safety precautions, and it would be completely used against them by the Jukic family. Yes, you cannot put anything out like that says, yep, we were short here, or this is where we were, we're going to go to here. Well, why are you going to here? Well, because this wasn't enough. Like that could all be used against them. They need to just say they can't come out with anything for legal reasons right now. And, when things settle, then hopefully we can come out with more information. They just need to be a little bit more transparent, like they said, of their intransparency. But yeah,
I think Dawn making that promise was foolish to begin with.
I agree.
Yeah, you can't say you're gonna be transparent about the whole process and stuff, and then you come out with that letter
and hide.
You hide behind the letter because you're not even going forward facing and facing any questions, answering anything about what you just posted. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that states anything really. There's a lot of repetition within the letter as well, from my opinion.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure we have time for the Hall of Fames, so I'm going to a lot of people have talked about the changes, and just a brief summary of what the changes are they're creating a new position. There are reports to Dawn and Dave that their responsibility will be the safety of the CrossFit Games.
To me, that was the biggest FU. That, like, you start your letter. Sorry, I don't, but like it was just like, we are going to report the safety to Dave Castro. Like, when you look at what the demands were of the PFAA, and that's the first thing that's the first name that you drop. Like, that is the biggest FU to the athletes that are.
And a close second is that they created an athlete council
In competition with exactly what they had just done.
Yep.
Right. So they said that the new person's reporting to Dave and Dawn, that Dave is still the head of CrossFit Sport, that the new athlete council will be there to help guide them in safety measures and all of that stuff. The same thing that the PFA has promised to do. And now, darn well, Lex was a member of that a while ago, and they weren't used like they should have been.
No, they had meetings and stuff, and like they would talk about like good things and interesting things to put into place. It just ended up stopping right away. Like, it just didn't last very long. It was like the idea was there, but the execution on some of the promises just weren't there. And that's a theme with CrossFit, is there's a lot of great ideas and then there's no follow through.
Right.
We're going to do the service open. Boom. It stops. It's like, oh, we got to bring it back. Like, oh, we're going to do this competition. We're going to do there's a lot of great ideas within the space, but then there's just a lack of execution, a lack of consistency within our sport, within things that we want to implement. And the changes just make it that there's such a lack of trust within the organization. Like, there's just, you don't know what you're getting from year to year. There's constant changes at the top. And so
we have those three things. We have the safety council now that's being formed. That's a group of first responders and athletes to go over safety protocols. That an ambulance and an EMT staff will now be present for all events at the CrossFit Games. And I think that's pretty much everything. Again, a lot of people have gone over it. We did on Thursday in the roundtable, if you want to go back and check that out. But those structures were made. But the biggest thing was, through the new season structure and this release, what I realized was that CrossFit just unloaded all the liability they had for the entire CrossFit Games season onto the affiliates and these in-person competitions to get people to the games until you get to the CrossFit Games. That is the only place that they're going to be liable for anything injury, safety-wise.
Yep.
I mean, they can still program stupid things, but then with the affiliate that don't have the infrastructure to keep certain athletes safe like they could in a more controlled environment, I guess.
Yeah.
But
so that's all that. I'm
kind of curious to see if this 1%, like, how many people make it. Like, will there be little, like, local, like a one big town CrossFit gym bring like 8 different gyms together? I mean, because realistically, there's probably only gonna be like a couple people out of, a bunch of gyms in an area. So, like, do they get together and try to pull like like the Saban group of semifinals last year and make these like this weekend pop up like huge? I think it could be sweet if you have that weekend, if you have a bunch of gyms that like are willing to stand up and bring a big group of people in and make it a little competition in gym. I mean, that's how you're going to get your best effort too.
I think it could be sweet, but I think it's putting a lot on affiliate owners.
I was just about to say that.
Sure,
As
but
an
it's like,
athlete, yes, but for an affiliate, like
honestly, like, I'm trying to think about around me how many people this is are going to be able to qualify, and it's not a lot. And so, like, I think the couple of us that might make it probably do need to get together and go to one gym. So it's a burden on one person. And it's probably one gym that was going to do a lot anyway. Like you think about it, like Mayhem's going to cater to whatever they need to anyway. So Mayhem will probably become a mecca that weekend for a bunch. I mean, I bet you a lot of people will travel to Mayhem to do it there because it will be done right. I actually think this is like unburdening a lot of affiliate owners, quite honestly. Like quarterfinals was a burden, and you are unburdening a lot. And so one gym needs to step up and bring in a handful of athletes and make a weekend out of it. And it could be like so exciting for the members. Like you now have like, I may have to go to a gym 40 miles from me, but hopefully there's 2 other people, and I may like get some new fans out of this. Like that gym might like create a little local hometown feel that people show up that weekend and cheer for the 4 of us that are competing.
Yeah, I think like that's discussions for the next few weeks. Like, of course, I've said this on like that I would try to copy what Savon did and do like a live stream of the semifinals to give people some exposure, because the athletes losing that exposure from semifinals where they might be able to get a sponsor or something like that. But I think we can discuss that in the future weeks. Right now, I just think like not much has been said. There's 2 press releases that came out, very vague, and nobody to ask questions of. And the chat's just basically all saying the trust for HQ is gone.
Yeah.
And that was waning anyway. And
in the sports side, it's been gone for, I think, a while. And then what happened at this past game was like even more. Like that was like the end of the trust for a lot.
And Denise, yes, I do know where the water comes from and how it gets into my house, because it comes from a hole in my ground. I don't have to trust the city, and I have a well, so nobody's cleaning it up for me before it gets into my house.
So in the next 3 minutes, let's go over Reps Ahead 5 that happened. I thought it was the best version of Reps Ahead so far. It was a tournament style, where on Saturday there were 4 matches. On the men's side, there was a Tudor Magda versus Cole Grieshaber. And then there was James Sprague versus Malachi Bennett. And they were seeded based on performance throughout the year. And then on the women's side, it was Trista Smith versus Zoe Warren. And then Ariel Lowen versus Rachel Noel. The winners of those matches on that day won $2,000. And it was bar muscle ups, burpee box overs, and clean and jerks. 765.
Yes.
765. And Tudor came out like a house on fire and had a total meltdown, where Cole was then able to overtake him.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really exciting.
Yeah, it was.
Tudor was going for the early knockout.
I know.
But he just couldn't. And that's what makes these exciting when that happens. If someone
he was like delusional, like it got bad. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I know his legs were giving out.
He went in a hole.
Yep.
Yeah. James Sprague and Malachi Bennett. It was just James Sprague had better bar muscle ups and was able to string them together faster, and eventually just overtook him for the knockout. And then on the women's side, Trista Smith and Zoe Warren had a really good battle. And then Trista saw an opening. And actually, you thought Zoe was going to get her. And somehow Trista had like a little second wind and was able to come back and beat her. I thought that was a great match to watch, because I thought for sure Zoe had to win. And she ended up dying worse than Trista did earlier. And Trista was able to come back and get the win.
Yeah, I was messaging Lex at that last night, and we were watching, and I was after the 3rd round, because Trista had the early lead in the first 2 rounds, and then she kind of just looked like she was just fading in that third round and really, really struggling. And then you had the lead change all of a sudden. It flip-flopped fully in that third round. And I'm like, oh, Trista's done here. She's basically, it's like Tudor. And then like out of nowhere, Zoe just like died. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening in this workout?
Oh, to be 19 again.
Yeah.
And then Ariel Lowen took on Rachel Noel, and it really was not a match. Ariel hit the gas in the second round, and Ariel said she was really just going at a pace that like 80%, and then she saw the opportunity and kicked it up to get the knockout. So then that moved to a championship round today of James Sprague versus Cole Griesaber. That one ended in the first round. Cole's chest to bar pull-ups went away, and James took that over pretty quick. And then Ariel versus Trista was a second round knockout. It was rep for rep.
I know.
In the first round, they looked like they were doing synchro team.
It did.
It was good.
And then in the second round, Trista missed a snatch.
Yeah.
And that was all. That's all Ariel needed, was to get off the barbell first and get to the chest to bar, and she just ripped through it.
Yeah. I actually think it's too bad Tudor lost yesterday, because Tudor was looking fast in this workout.
Oh God, if he would have had to go another round though, it would have been the same thing as yesterday.
But I think his cycle speed is just like it looked really fast.
Yeah, because he was sprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was banking on winning. Like he was going to be in trouble again if he didn't win.
Just so people knew, the losers from yesterday moved forward to today and got to compete for $1,000.
Yeah.
So Tudor got to come back, and he took on Malachi, and he went balls to the wall again. But he was able to hold on long enough to get the knockout. Zoe was replaced by Kelly Stone.
Yeah.
And she took on Rachel Noel, and Kelly did the competition all weekend and had no legs left. And it was obvious pretty quick on the box jump overs. And so Rachel Noel and Tudor got $1,000 each. And then James and Ariel winning overall got $5,000 each, plus the $2,000 from yesterday.
That didn't make sense to me.
So they won $7,000.
Jeez.
Like
I want to do one.
I know, right?
And then
No
Vindicate gave
deadlifts.
$100 for every time someone got a knockout.
Yep.
So they actually won $7,100.
Why didn't they just make the final day the prize purse? I don't understand.
I think it was cool this way, because by winning Saturday, you got a prize, and then you get to go fight for a bigger prize. So the losers of today still got the $2,000 they won yesterday, because they didn't get anything today.
Do they get their trip paid for too? Like
They
their
do.
flight? Damn. That's like rogue stuff right there.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's some good treatment.
And I was telling Jamie before we got on the air, Julie even watched this with me, and she does not watch CrossFit. So this was short enough and exciting enough that she watched. And so maybe they do have something. And I like the tournament better than the one-off.
Yep.
Yeah, I did too.
I like yesterday's workout better though.
I would have much rather done yesterday's workout. Agree.
But visually too, though, I thought the chest to bar is such a fast movement.
Yeah,
like it just, the punches were fast today. But I mean, maybe that's what we wanted, though. We don't need them to go to the last round.
I thought the broadcast dynamic of Brian Friend versus with Andrew Hiller was interesting, to say the least. But I think they carried it. They pulled it off.
Yeah,
and it was entertaining.
It was good. They did good.
And I really love the post interviews of each one. Some of them were really breathing heavy when they were doing them, but I thought they were done really well. Couple other quick news items. Katrin may or may not be retiring. There was a leak from Talking Elite Fitness, and I said this on Thursday on the roundtable. When we used to edit our podcast, I was afraid of those things happening. So I feel so bad for Talking Elite Fitness that
I wish people didn't post that. to me, like if you see a leak like that, like you can like talk about it within your little circle that you saw it. But like to me, it's like let that person break that news. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's obviously
Like-
told a lot of people, so
Yeah, but still, like I
and
think
all
there's
3 of them knew from different sources, so it's out there all over the place.
yeah, but I think that there's a difference between the like showing it to the public, like fully. And I get that some people would have seen it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
People all just want credit for posting the first post of that. But
We also have some drug suspension news. Sean Ramirez received the first ever lifetime ban.
yes,
Yes.
as
Kudos
it
to
should
that.
be, as it should be.
And then Cristiano Demescino placed 4th in the men's 45 to 49 age group, also tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. And he did not appeal. So he is serving a 4-year suspension for his first ban. Gabby McGowan had successful surgery on her Achilles. Mia Hesketh announced a pregnancy. And the PFA elected a new athlete board. And that's been talked about a lot if you want to go check it out. It's an interesting cast of characters. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's good. I think that it seems to be people from different backgrounds and different styles. And I think that's good. The more diversity you have on that, the better. So we are going to now do the Clydesdale Media Hall of Fame. We are creating the CrossFit Games Hall of Fame. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to share my screen here. So I have this little Canva here. And what we have is 22 nominees for the CrossFit Hall of Fame. In the first year, 4 members are elected. In the second year, 3 members will be elected. And everybody else who's not elected in the first year or the second year will have to wait for another year to go through the nomination process. So what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of names in white in the white banner above. I'm going to pull one down and put it into the black so you can see it. And then Carolyne and Jamie will have to agree on which bucket to put it in.
Okay.
Are they a first ballot Hall of Fame, second ballot, or they need to wait till next year? And this is not just athletes. It is media members and CrossFit HQ because Hall of Fames have those as well. So are we ready?
I'm ready.
First name, Sean Woodland.
I have wait till next time.
Yeah, I'll agree. And I love Sean.
I do too. This is a tough list.
I mean, he would be first ballot if it was in his field of media. Like, that's for sure.
Let's do this one. Rich Froning.
First ballot.
Correct.
The only correct answer.
Okay.
I haven't even looked at all the names.
Dan Bailey.
Wait till next time.
Yep.
Dan Bailey.
Danny Broflex.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I right-clicked and said Matt Chan.
Wait till next time.
Yep.
Podium finisher and everything.
Yeah.
Titan Games winner.
Yeah.
Here. Matt Frazier.
First ballot.
Yep. Lynn says Dan Bailey was the prettiest CrossFitter for a long time. Wait, I protest. Fair protest, Lynn.
Let's pull that.
I think Rich is the most influential CrossFitter of all time, and Matt is the best male athlete of all time.
Yeah.
Dan was Mr. Open before he was Mr. Broflex.
That's true.
Okay. Let's see what else we have up here. Noah Olson.
I have him waiting till next.
Yep, same.
Okay.
What? 10 times CrossFit Games?
You have only 7 people we can pick. So
What? Well, I don't even remember the whole list. So we can also move it after.
Oh, you think?
Oh, maybe.
I have
Permanent
them right
Sharpie.
now.
Okay. James Fitzgerald.
I have him waiting till next, personally.
CrossFit Games champion.
Yep.
Waiting till next.
Second ballot.
All right. You guys have to come to an agreement.
Can you put him like between second and wait till next till we narrow down?
He's the first champ.
I just think there's people more influential than him on the sport. I mean, I get that he did the OPT. I just don't think. I also think he also like almost
Lynn
took
says, who is James?
exactly. That's the other thing. There are people far more influential in the affiliate side, like
So Lynn,
progressing the sport.
he is the first ever CrossFit Games champion,
James OPT.
and he created OPEX.
Yes.
That actually competed against CrossFit for a good number of years.
Right.
And now his athletes are actually participants in the CrossFit Games, and he is a coach and trainer up in Canada. Okay. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to just put him
Okay. Fair.
right there for now.
Yeah, I don't even know all the names coming up, but I just feel like, he's influential.
Josh Everett.
Next time.
Next time.
All right. It's going to be a murky mess over here.
Okay.
Jason Kalipa.
So I have him in first ballot.
I think I'm between first and second right now. I don't know what's coming up. We can put him in first, I guess.
Okay. All right. You want to put him on the line?
Yeah, just put him in first. We can
Okay.
move after if we feel.
Okay. Ben Smith.
Ooh.
I personally have Ben in my second ballot. So
Oh,
You have Jason above Ben.
correct. I'm
I'll
willing
have
to
a hard
switch
time.
those two.
I think Jason won the games that had the least amount of workouts, right? Did he have 20?
Well,
20,
yeah.
2000.
there was only 3 workouts when Jason won.
To me, like,
I'm willing to switch those two. Those are
okay, let's switch Ben and Jason. Let's put Jason in second right now, and I guess we can keep up to 4. So keep
Yeah,
Ben.
but I have someone else that I think needs to go in the Hall of Fame. You may disagree.
Okay. Tommy Hackenbrook,
Wait.
team legend.
Yeah. Wait till next time. Sorry, buddy.
Stone cold.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna have people over here in the chat say Tommy who? Like
Wait till next time.
yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Pat Barber.
Wait till next time.
Wait till next time.
I dug deep for these.
I know you have some good ones. I like them.
Miko Salo.
Wait till next time for me.
Oh,
I-
I'm like a first or second.
Nope. Not with. There's just too many names to pick.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Now, tell me this: would you pick Miko over James?
I think he won one of the toughest games there ever was.
I still think they both need to wait. Personally, I think there's other people more influential.
Can we
We
put
got
him
a
in
couple
second?
Miko firsts in the chat.
Miko is not first. Not
To
even
me,
no.
I had Miko in first in my mind with what he did for Europe, winning, in my opinion, one of the toughest games.
There are still so many people who don't know who Miko is.
Yeah, that's just because they're newer to the sport. And
Agree.
It's like people that don't know who Kristen Clever was. Like,
agree. And I wouldn't ever pick Kristen to be on a Hall of Fame right now. Like she may be somebody who waits and gets in, but there are people who what? Sorry.
Next week we're gonna have fun with the women. Apparently,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to pick people who are still pushing the affiliate model, still pushing people into CrossFit, still active.
Nico Triangle.
I know. I
Got
just
that
did Miko's
program.
Triangle. Right. But like Rich, there's a reason you have Rich on here is because he's still well known in the space. That's why it was
he
a
won
no
4 times.
Yeah. Yes, but like Rich still is well known in the space, and most people say he has done the most for the sport of CrossFit.
Well, 100%.
And can you say the same for Miko?
In Europe, he did a lot. Yeah. He literally made like European athletes like introduce.
I'd rather boot Khalipa.
European.
I'd rather boot Khalipa then and put Miko there.
Really? No, I would disagree. You're too North American based.
I just said I'd rather boot Khalipa, get him out of there, and put Miko in.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd rather put Khalipa in first than
No.
Miko. Sorry.
No. Like I would get rid of Khalipa. If you are stuck on Miko getting in, I would move Khalipa and have him wait.
I don't know.
there's space for Khalipa and Miko.
No, there isn't.
Let's put him between first and second. You didn't even have him. You had him wait till next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's other people that belong on going in
so
right now.
So let's meet in the middle then at least. So let's put him in the second.
Then I want to pull Jason. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, when we have him full, we'll pull him.
Okay.
Dave Castro.
I have him in first ballot.
Carolyne, any thoughts?
I'm thinking.
He invented the games.
Exactly right.
Yes, for the creation of the game. I guess I'm all with the athletes right now. I don't.
I mean, I just don't think it's hard to say I understand you're in an athlete mindset, but like Dave is synonymous with the games.
Yeah, there would be no games without Dave.
Right.
I mean,
But I'm in for
OJ Simpson's in the Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You don't have to love him. Doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be there. She said she agrees first.
Okay. Do I have any left? Oh.
Yeah, you've got a couple left.
Adrian Bosman.
Now I have him waiting, personally.
Like I have the athletes on the mind right now. I don't want any.
That's fine.
To me, it's wait till next time.
Arm and Hammer.
Wait till next time.
Wait
I do
till
love
next
him though.
time.
I watched him all the time.
Well, I
early
mean,
on.
he just was the originator of
He
CrossFit
was.
Media. Graham Holmberg.
Wait till next time.
Same. He was one of the only people that beat Rich, right? In
Yep.
person.
Yeah.
The only person to beat Rich. Brent
Well,
Fikowski.
Tommy Hackenberg on this list beat him in team.
That was Adrian Conway's team.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was I think it was Tommy's team? Yeah, that's. Why was I thinking Tommy?
I have Brent in my second ballot. So, but I'm willing. He'd be somebody I'd be willing to move if you are so partial to Miko or James over Brent.
I would. I mean, Brent has how many podiums?
That's my thing. Like he's
6. No, 3 podiums, 3 fourth place.
But I have somebody else that I like that I would.
That's pretty
still-
hard to beat. And the long, like, how many years was he there?
I still have somebody else that
I think
want
because
in second.
I would agree with Vi here. Maybe just too early for Brent because he's just out of competing, and normally we'd wait a little bit for some of the newer ones or some
Fair
of the
Fair enough. I'm okay with
the
him
ones that
going.
have been there for a little
Yeah.
bit. Like his time will come within the next couple years.
I'm okay with that. That's fair.
Okay, let's go wait till next time.
Scott Panchik.
That's who I have in my second ballot. Again, for me, he's somebody who, with the family, with the affiliate, like he's pretty. He was a namesake for me, and I think he still pushes what CrossFit is. Him and his wife, like, I love watching their stories. I love CrossFit mentality.
Brent's above Scott though.
Yeah, but Scott's been out longer, and
37
you just
fourth place finishes.
What's that?
Scott had 37 fourth place finishes.
that's what it seems like.
I don't know. To me, I'd still have Brent above Scott.
So Scott waits till next time?
I think Scott can wait, but that's me.
Well, I mean, you still have. So, who would you rather have in there in the second ballot for your third person?
She wants
Brent?
to see all the names.
That is all the names.
No, there's
You have one more?
2 more.
Okay. Yeah, she's not gonna want them.
Josh Bridges.
It's a wait for me.
He's closer to me to second ballot than Scott.
I mean, he has a pretty big social media following. He has his podcast. He has the Rogue. He's got to pay the man. For me, when I was picking people, like, I'm looking for people who own an affiliate and have pushed that, and that's where, like, Fikowski is.
Are we talking about the affiliate or the sport now? That's two different things. We're talking about the affiliate.
To me, they're one and the same.
Hmm.
The true ones, like a Froning, how he has meshed it together. Like, that's what I want to see, and that's how I think we grow. Is those meccas are huge.
Lynn says Hall of Fame isn't based on family dynamics, though its contribution to the sport.
Put him between.
Clooney says Scott never makes the Hall of
Aw.
Fame.
No, Scott will, but
Yes, he'll
I'm
make
just
the Hall of
thinking.
So what are we doing with Josh?
I would assume he's waiting. I would think you would even put James Fitzgerald over him, right?
I have James above him, but I'm thinking Khalipa out right now. That's my. But Khalipa was, like, very influential as well.
Yep.
So Clooney says only champions make the first round of Hall of Fame. Right now, the only people in the ballots are champions.
Correct.
Well, I mean, Dave Castro's not a champion.
Oh, that's true. Josh Bridges is not a champion.
Right.
Right. We got to get through this, guys.
Yeah, let's go wait till next time for Josh, just because we do have champions minus Dave.
And we have 2 more names. Chris Spieler.
Wait.
Although he was very influential for the small people.
Kyle
Wait.
Casper Power.
Wait.
Carolyne, wait.
Yes, Sam. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna put James.
I think that's
in.
everybody.
So
So now we have
Champions.
James, Brent,
we'll take James.
James.
Yep.
At least you don't have anyone that didn't win the games in here,
Yep. There you go.
minus the obvious.
So
But he created the games.
yeah.
And
let's
like
create a game
advance a sport and so many like the programming, it's
So
just
the first-
I think about this Hall of Fame as it should be athletes. If we're like there should be like another category.
But Don Cherry's in the NHL Hall of Fame.
Wasn't he a player?
Well, he's known more for his mouth, right?
Yeah.
But there's media people in all the Hall of Fames. There are commissioners. That's why I added those people in there.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
threw me
necessarily
off.
mean they should get like a first or second ballot, but I wanted it to be an option.
Like to me, I would rather I don't know. Like keep the first ballot, second ballot, like the first Hall of Fame class to the athletes, and then you start introducing personalities and stuff like that.
But the guy who invented it, it does make sense.
I mean, the inventor of football is not in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
The inventor of hockey, like,
but
do you know, like,
the Super Bowl?
Well, Greg isn't in it. He's the inventor of CrossFit. You're talking about the inventor of the games.
The games, yeah.
But what?
But
the guy who started the Super Bowl is.
There you go.
So anyway, our final list is first ballot is Rich Froning, Matt Fraser, Ben Smith, Dave Castro. Second ballot, Jason Khalipa, Miko Salo, James Fitzgerald, and then a whole bunch of people in Wait Till Next Time.
Right.
Including Josh Bridges, Scott Panchek, and Brent Fikowski, who seem to have the most love of the people who got Wait Till Next Time.
Agree.
But that was fun. So next week, we're going to do it with the women.
Oh, boy.
Which I think it may actually be tougher.
Yeah.
Because other than Tia, there's no like long stretch champions.
I mean, Katra and Annie.
Yeah, but that's
both have 2 wins.
It'll be tough. I think there's going to be a few we definitely don't agree on. Again.
Julie Boucher's got a few podiums.
There's a lot of names. Becca Voigt, Miller.
Sam Briggs. Yeah.
Clever.
I think there's some good options in there.
Yeah. So I will put together the list. Again, it'll be people who are retired, who I know are retired.
Female coaches. I mean, right now we're just doing anything, I guess. Not just the athletes.
I did not put coaches because coaches are kind of a new thing. And none of them are really retired.
Okay.
Fair.
Until the guy from Mammoth just retired today or yesterday. So I guess Ben Bergeron retired.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Would he take any of these 7 places?
He'd be a wait.
I mean, his programming was so influential. Like,
I agree.
Like, everyone did everyone looked at the ComTrain program. He did play a role in, coaching 2 champions. Like, there's so many. And yeah, it's people could argue his position on his influence in the space. Like, during those years, like, it was huge.
I agree. He had incredible influence in the space.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this was fun.
Yeah.
And we'll rack it up again for next week for the women. And if you guys can think of anything else you want to play a game with like this, we'll do that throughout the off season. And I like when Jamie and Carolyne fight. That's what the goal is.
I just think my definition of this is different.
Agreed.
Like, I want to see the athletes there. Like, I think there's something wrong when we don't have all the athletes in here for the first ballot, to me.
If you think we're wrong, leave a comment down below, and we'll check those out and read those this week. And maybe we'll come back next week and review that before we hit the women. Any comments that you guys may leave about who we picked to make the Hall of Fame. It looks like John Young left because he would have had opinions
I know.
about all of this. But
Sure.
I think with that, that's everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier. And if you're listening to us on any of the audio podcast platforms, leave a 5-star review and tell people if you like it or not. With that, everybody, thank you so much. It's been a great Sunday. We'll see everybody next week on the Clydesdale Media Sunday night CrossFit Talk. Bye, guys.